Welcome to Partner Web Demo 2, an introduction to social network analysis. In the first part of this demo, we will explain what social network analysis is, then we will cover some key terms, and then we will go over some of the basic concepts used to analyze social networks. Social networks are social structures comprised of nodes, which can be individuals, organizations, or a variety of other representations. In a social network, nodes are connected to each other based on a type of social relationship, such as friendship, kinship, economic exchange, or client referrals. Social network analysis is a methodology used for gathering and analyzing data that explain how these nodes connect to one another. Social network analysis is the measuring, mapping, analyzing, and interpretation of social network structures, the ties between nodes, and the flows that occur within and across networks. Social networks can be visualized as network maps. Network maps are powerful representations of social relationships. There are many ways to visualize a network. Now we will go over some key terms. First of all, a node is any person, place, or thing that either gives or receives connections. Nodes can be labeled to show who or what each node represents, can be coded to prevent identification, or can be left blank. In addition, each node can be colored or assigned a shape to identify certain characteristics or attributes of each node in the network. An edge is the line that shows the connections in a network map. It lies between two nodes. Edges represent the presence of a relationship between two nodes. That is, when someone indicates that they are connected to the other node, a line will appear. Edges can be weighted to demonstrate their quality, for example, frequency of interaction, or a positive versus negative interaction. Arrows can signify the direction of network ties. Two nodes are adjacent if they are connected by at least one edge. When we talk about the length of a tie, we do not mean the actual distance, but the number of edges between two nodes. A geodesic is the shortest path between any two nodes. For example, if it takes 2 steps to get from node X to node Y, then we would say that the distance is 2. If that is the shortest path between those two nodes, then we would also say that this is the geodesic distance. Now for a few basic concepts used to analyze social networks. One of the most basic and most powerful concepts of social network analysis is centrality. Centrality measures help us identify the key players in a network. For example, take a look at the kite network. By looking at this picture, you might identify Diane as the most central and most important person in the network. That is true if we are interested in who has the most network interactions with others in the network. In this case, Diane has the highest degree centrality. However, if we are thinking about who is in a position that is vulnerable, that is, if we remove that person, then we will no longer have a fully connected network, then we would select Heather as the most important person. In the kite network, if we remove Heather, then we will no longer be connected to Ike and Jane. If Ike and Jane are important to our collaborative, then we would want to be sure to maintain the stability of Heather's position in the network. In this network, Heather has the highest betweenness centrality. Finally, if we are interested in how information flows throughout a network, we might be interested in those with the highest closeness centrality. That is, those with the shortest path or fewest number of edges between themselves and all other members of the network. In the kite network, Fernando and Garth have the highest closeness centrality. They have the fewest number of edges between themselves and all other members of the network. These kinds of positions are important both if we are trying to spread information and also if we are trying to prevent the spread of something, for example, a communicable disease. Another key concept of social network analysis is strategically thinking about how to form network ties. The creation and maintenance of public health collaboratives takes the commitment of valuable yet scarce resources, including time and energy. Rather than investing in ad hoc collaborative relationships, members of public health collaboratives might be well advised to think about these collaborations strategically and to manage them by focusing on the quality of the connections between participants rather than the notion that more connections are better. Demonstrating progress in collaboration simply by increasing the number of partners can be overwhelming and put us at risk of losing our collaborative advantage. An alternative way to think about constructing a collaborative is to reduce redundancy in the network. For example, if we continue to simply increase the number of connections without a strategy, we may find ourselves embedded in networks that are difficult to navigate and manage. However, if we reduce redundancy in our networks and find ways to connect to fewer people, we may find that we are better able to connect to more subnetworks. While this strategy may not be as simple to implement in practice, social network analysis can help you begin to think about your relationships within your collaboratives in more strategic ways. This completes Partner Web Demo 2. To learn more about social network analysis, check out the links in the resources section of the website at partnertool.net. Also, be sure to watch Web Demo 3, Social Network Analysis Applied in Partner,